understand?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. And complete your attendance as early as possible after the class. A few students have given attendance up to 11:30 p.m. yesterday. And first on 1st December and 2nd December. সুধাংশু, তোমার যদি নেটের
This is Dr. Sudhanshu Chakraborty from Asansol Engineering College. Good morning to all of you. Hope all of you are well in this COVID situation and this COVID time. Hope all of you are
সুধাংশু,
okay.
আমার নেটটা খারাপ আছে, তোমার যদি আমার মোবাইল ঠিক করে নাও না, হচ্ছে না, তাহলে প্রবলেম হয়ে যাবে। And what I was saying, that yesterday some of the students have given attendance 2 times in Google Form, and try to complete your attendance within 1 hour after the class. Okay? Can you hear me, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now, yesterday what I discussed, I discussed simple harmonic motion and with some examples. Now, today I am discussing damped vibration. Now sharing the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Means
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
means damped vibration. Subject name physics 1. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now today I am discussing damped vibration. Is this slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So damped vibration. So you know about simple harmonic motion. Now here I am discussing damped vibration. When a body or a particle vibrates, it faces a number of frictional forces. That is, it may be external and it may be internal. Forces decrease the amplitude of vibration with time, and the motion of the body ultimately stops. So as there is decrease in amplitude of vibration with time, the motion of the body stops after some time. Such vibration of decaying amplitude is known as damped vibration. What is the example? Example is the motion of a simple pendulum whose amplitude greatly decreases with time and the bob finally comes to restore is an example of damped harmonic motion. So for a simple pendulum, you have observed that its amplitude decays gradually with time, and after certain time, the bob finally comes to its initial position. This is the example of damped harmonic motion. Now, there are few types of forces. Number one, restoring force, which is proportional to displacement and tends to bring the particle back to its original position. I'm just sharing the screen off for to some few seconds, then again giving the screen. Now I have to check something. Okay, no problem. So I'm continuing, no problem. Now sharing screen is on, is it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So restoring force, there are two types of forces. Restoring force, which is proportional to displacement and tends to bring the particle back to its original position. Restoring force that is equal to, we can write it as minus AX. What is A? A is a constant, and which is restoring force per unit displacement. And second force is damping force or retarding force that is proportional to velocity and is given by minus b into dx by dt. What is dx by dt? Dx by dt is the velocity. And what is small b? Small b is the constant. So there are two types of forces. One is restoring force and the second one is damping force. So restoring force is minus ax and the damping force is minus b into dx by dt, where dx by dt is the velocity and b is a constant. And a is again a constant. It is the resistive force caused by friction per unit velocity and that is damping coefficient and defined as damping force per unit velocity. So damping force is the resistive force caused by friction per unit velocity. And this is the damping coefficient and defined as damping force per unit velocity. Now here two types of motion are shown. One is undamped motion. This graph you have observed yesterday, that displacement versus time graph. So this is the displacement along the y-axis and time along the x-axis. You can see here what is the amplitude from this horizontal line to this peak position. This is the amplitude, and here this is the amplitude. You can see that amplitude is not decreasing. So this is the horizontal line given here, and another horizontal line is showing here. So it is as it is. So it is not changing. So we can say that amplitude is not decreasing, so it is undamped motion, no damping is there. But this is the example of, this is the figure for damped motion, where displacement is along the y-axis and time is along the x-axis. And you can see the amplitude diminishes with time. So this is the dotted line, this is the line which is indicated here by the horizontal one. So horizontal one is changing here and it is taking this type of shape. So amplitude from this point to this point, initial this is the amplitude, now from this point to this point this is the amplitude. So you can see the amplitude is decreasing. So it is decreasing with time. So time is plotted along x-axis and you can see that amplitude is decreasing with time. So this is the example of damped motion. Now we have to find out the equation of motion of damped vibration. You already know the equation of motion for simple harmonic motion, for undamped motion. Now here I am going to calculate the equation of motion for damped vibration. Now total force, I already said there are two types of forces. I already said that there are two types of forces. One is restoring force and another is damping force. Restoring force is minus x and damping force is minus b into dx by dt. Now coming here. So m d2x by dt square, this is force because this is mass, and d2x by dt square, this is the acceleration. So mass into acceleration, this is force. So force is divided in two parts. Two types of forces are there. One is minus x and minus b dx by dt. So one is damping force and another is restoring force. So total force is divided in this two. Now putting it equation number 1. Now d2x by dt square, what I have done, I am going to find out the differential equation for damped vibration. So already I have discussed the differential equation for simple harmonic motion, and here I am going to discuss the differential equation for damped vibration. So I have changed the side of equation 1 to equation to right hand side to left hand side, and d2x by dt square plus a by mx plus b by m dx dt equal to 0. So I have changed the side, and all the terms of the right hand side is given in the left hand side, and the equation remains as this. Now what I am writing, I am just substituting some values. So 2k that I am writing as b by m, and omega that is equal to root over a by m. So here actually this is the equation. Here a by m, that is omega square that I am writing. So omega square x, and b by m, this is 2k. So this equation is represented as what? d2x by dt square plus 2k dx by dt plus omega square x equal to 0. So this is our equation 2. Now can anyone say what is the term here? Actually the differential equation of SHM is also here, and with that equation one extra term is there in damped vibration. Can anyone say? So what is the differential equation for SHM in equation 2? 3 terms are there in left hand side, and 2 terms we have to take if we want to write the differential equation of SHM. What is that term?
And these character dt square plus omega square is equal to 0.
Okay, very good. So d2x by dt square plus omega square x equal to 0. It was our differential equation for simple harmonic motion. Now this is the extra term here, that is 2k into dx by dt. So this is the term for the damped vibration. So if it is given that write down the differential equation for damped vibration, what you all have to write, that is d2x by dt square plus 2k into dx dt plus omega square x equal to 0. So this is our equation 2. And if it is given in question that write down the differential equation for damped vibration, you have to write this, or you can start from equation 1 and can reach to that equation 2, or you can directly write equation 2. But what you have to do, you have to explain what is 2k and what is omega, because omega is what in the damped vibration, you have to explain with 2k is what. So 2k equal to, I'm writing as damping constant, and omega as restoring constant. So this is our differential equation of damped vibration. Now same task is here. What is our task? Our task is, we know the differential equation for damped vibration, but now we have to solve this differential equation and we have to find out the solution. In the same way we have done in simple harmonic motion, that is the differential equation here is d2x by dt square plus 2k dx by dt plus omega square x equal to 0. That is equation number 2. This is the equation of motion of damped vibration. This is the differential equation. Now we have to solve this equation and we have to find out the value of x. In the same way, we will solve as I have solved in simple harmonic motion. So to solve the second order differential equation, we have to take the trial solution as. In the same way, I am taking the solution. So what is this? So x, I am taking, we don't know the value of x, but we are taking, let x be the solution, and x equal to a dash e to the power alpha t. So giving it equation number 4. So we will find out all these values, that is d2x by dt square we will find out dx dt, we will put the value in equation 2 and then we will try to solve the differential equation. So we have already x equal to a dash e to the power alpha t. Let's take the trial solution and we are taking this as equation number 4. So find out dx by dt from here. So if you differentiate this, so x is the displacement, and if we differentiate this with respect to t, then I'm getting it here velocity. So velocity equal to a dash, so e to the power alpha t, if you differentiate with respect to t, so ddt of e to the power alpha t, so alpha is here and e to the power alpha t remains as it is. So this is the velocity. Then calculating the acceleration, so this is d2x by dt square. So again differentiating this, so a dash, again I'm getting alpha square. So ddt of e to the power alpha t, alpha e to the power alpha into e to the power alpha t. So I'm getting here a dash alpha square e to the power alpha t. So what I'm doing, I'm putting the value of dx by dt and d2x by dt square in equation number 2. So putting here, so just the simple calculation. So a dash alpha square e to the power alpha t plus 2k a dash alpha e to the power alpha t plus omega square a dash e to the power alpha t. So what? So d2x by dt square, here what is a dash alpha square e to the power alpha t. So a dash alpha square e to the power alpha t. Then 2k. So 2k is here as it is. Then dx by dt. So dx by dt is a dash alpha e to the power alpha t. So this term a dash alpha e to the power alpha t plus here what is remaining term, omega square x. So omega square x as it is, and x is a dash e to the power alpha t, that is equal to 0. So I have given all the values in equation number 2. So what remains? So just here what remains. So a dash is in all the terms. A dash is here, a dash is here, a dash is here. So we are neglecting this term. So and e to the power alpha t is also in all the terms. So a dash e to the power alpha t. I'm writing this equation equal to 0, leaving that a dash and e to the power alpha t. So a dash into e to the power alpha t, putting it outside. That is at that time I'm not considering here, because actually if you common this term a dash e to the power alpha t, and inside the bracket if you write alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega square equal to 0 in the you can write a dash e to the power alpha t into alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega square equal to 0, and you will write then as a dash e to the power alpha t is not equal to 0 as it is the displacement. So the bracketed term is equal to 0. So what is the bracketed term? Alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega square equal to 0. So again, now you know, find out the root of this equation, minus a plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. So do you know this? Do you know this? How to solve this equation earlier? Any student? Obviously,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know. So alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega square equal to 0. So from here we can solve what is the value of alpha, and we can find out the solution, that is alpha. What is the value of alpha? Alpha equal to minus 2k. So this is like minus b plus minus root over b square. B square means 2k is b. So it's square minus 4ac. So 4ac by 2a. So in this way I have written. So ultimately alpha I am getting as minus k plus minus root over k square minus omega square. So this is our value of alpha. Now alpha may be minus k plus root over k square minus omega square, or alpha may be minus k minus root over k square minus omega square. So two solutions are here. Now in the same way, also in SHM there were two terms of alpha was there. Now for that I'm taking the two contributions of alpha here. So general solution I'm writing. I have written x equal to as this. Now this alpha has value. Can you see, all of you, can you see my pointer where I am indicating? Now indicating equation number 4 in alpha. Can you say this?
Yes, ma'am.
My mouse pointer, okay. So observe this pointer. So x equal to a dash e to the power alpha t. Now this alpha has two values, minus k plus root over k square minus omega square, and minus k minus root over k square minus omega square. Now I'm writing the general solution. So a dash is some constant here, as there are two values of alpha. So I am just dividing in a dash in two parts, that is a and b. So a in the first part, when I am taking alpha equal to minus k, and here minus k plus root over k square minus omega square I have taken the first term, and the second term I am taking some another constant b into e to the power minus k minus. Now this minus sign I am taking here, minus root over k square minus omega square into t. Generally solve this differential equation. Now x can write, because e to the power minus kt is both in the both term. In the both term there is e to the power minus kt. So I am putting this e to the power minus kt outside. So x equal to e to the power minus kt, then what remains? A. So this term is not present, it is it is written outside. So a into e to the power root over k square minus omega square t plus b into, so this term is kept outside, so remains as e to the power minus k square minus omega square t. So I have given this equation number 5. So general solution of the differential equation already I have calculated, and what is that value? That is x equal to this. Now any problem, any student want to ask any question up to this, then he or she may ask. Or otherwise I will go to the, any problem, otherwise I will go to the next slide. Anyone want to ask anything? So no problem. Clear, everything clear? No problem? Are you getting my voice?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know one thing. I have to know that yesterday one note was sent for your request, that you said that, ma'am, please give the notes. So I have given the notes in WhatsApp group. So have you gone through this note, or
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
as it is
Yes,
there,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
or as it is there in your pen drive or your desktop, or
No, ma'am.
I am, whatever I'm teaching in class, that thing I'm sharing with you after my class as a note, so that help you for understanding. So I am giving you the notes, so go through it and read it, and if any problem arises in understanding, so whenever I'm taking the class next time, ask me. So if you don't ask and you have problem, then it will summarize up to the whole semester, up to till the end, and it will create a big problem. So whenever you have problem, any problem, don't hesitate, ask me that you have problem in this line or in this topic. Understand? So up to this, what I have discussed, the differential equation of damped vibration and its general solution, and it is given as equation number 5. Now next slide. There are 3 cases actually for damped vibration, And in the here it is written A and B are the constants which can be calculated from the initial conditions. So some initial conditions are there, the value of A and B that can be calculated. I have not shared that part here. How to calculate A and B, this is not necessary actually. If you want, then I will share it in your group. So how to calculate the value of the constants A and B from here. So just remember this, the trial solution, the general solution as e to the power minus kt into this bracketed term. So now AB are the constants here. Now there are some cases of damped vibration. First case, that is heavy damping or over damping cases or deadbeat motion, case 1. Now here the condition is K is greater than omega. K is greater than omega. So here you can see I have taken K as damping constant. Actually not K, I have taken 2K as the damping constant and omega is the restoring constant. Actually K is your damping constant here. So 2K is damping constant means that is the part, K is the damping constant. You have to remember that K is the damping constant and omega is the restoring constant. Now what I have written here, if K is greater than omega, then what happens? Because here this term in the solution, just look it very carefully. In the solution, this term is here, root over K square minus omega square. Here also, root over K square minus omega square. So I have to judge this term. So root over K square minus omega square. So if K is greater than omega, if K is greater than omega, then this term is less than K, is it? Think it very carefully. If any question, then tell me. If omega equal to 0, say, if omega equal to 0, then what is this value? This is K, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the value of, this value is maximum, this is K, if omega equal to 0. This is not possible actually here because this is omega has some value. Huh? So now I am subtracting the value of omega. So K square I have taken and here omega square I have taken. So that value of K square, it is decreasing as I am subtracting the value of omega square from here, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
So initially if omega 0, then K square minus omega square, this value is maximum value is K, but omega has some value. So I am subtracting this thing. K square minus omega square. Omega square is subtracted from the value of K square. So definitely this value is less than K. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this root over this term is definitely less than K. So from equation 5, now I'm going to equation 5, and for t equal to infinity and x tends to 0, as e to the power minus infinity is 0. So I'm going to the previous slide. If t tends to infinity, come here. If t tends to infinity, so e to the power minus what? Infinity? E to the power minus infinity. That means 1 by e to the power infinity. 1 by e to the power infinity means 1 by infinity. That means 0. Is it? Try to
Yes,
understand.
ma'am.
Try to understand very carefully. T is infinity. If I put t equal to infinity, where? Where I put? Here. Here, e to the power minus kt term is here. E to the power minus kt term is here. Here I am putting the value of t equal to infinity. Then what is the value of e to the power minus kt?
1 by e to the power infinity.
Actually, if t is infinity, then the value is e to the power minus infinity. K into infinity means infinity.
Infinity only.
E to the power minus infinity. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. E to the power minus infinity means 1 by e to the power infinity.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it is 1 by e to the power infinity. Again, 1 by what? E to the power infinity. E to the power infinity means what? Again, infinity.
Infinity means 0.
So 1 by infinity means 0.
0.
So what is the value of x here? Now we can write x tends to 0. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
X equal to this into this. So as this has value to the power minus kt is 0. For where? E to the power minus kt is 0 at t equal to infinity. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So e to the power minus kt is 0. So what is the value of x? 0.
0.
0 means tends to 0 because
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
not taken t equal to infinity. I have taken t tends to infinity.
Tends to infinity.
So what x tends to? X tends
0.
to 0.
0.
Okay. So here that I have written as e to the power minus infinity is 0. Okay. So for this condition, heavy damping case or over damping or deadbeat motion, here what is happening at t tends to infinity, x tends to 0. So displacement becomes 0. So displacement becomes 0 or tends to 0 when t tends to infinity. Okay. After infinite time, if t is very large, that infinity, then displacement is going to 0. So this
Ma'am.
type of, say,
But second term not equal to 0. Plus,
which term? Consider the first term, 0 into something equal to always 0.
इस मिडिल में प्लस है.
कहाँ पर? Where? Consider this term only to the power minus kt. For this term, I have taken this outside. Which one?
It's okay,
Don't
ma'am.
put the value. Put it equation number 5. E to the power minus kt, I have given outside. So e to the power minus kt is 0 for t tends to infinity. So x tends to infinity.
Okay, ma'am.
Now that means I want to say damping is there. Damping means displacement decreases. Displacement decreases. Is it? So displacement, it is actually, this is the displacement graph say, this is the graph, it is decreasing. So here for heavy damping case or over damped motion, or another name is deadbeat motion. So what is the condition of deadbeat motion? K is very important. This is for deadbeat motion may be given in MCQ also. For deadbeat motion, K is greater than omega. So this is less than K. So T tends to infinity. At T, for T tends to infinity, X tends to 0. That means displacement tends to 0. देखो, ये in along the y-axis displacement is there, and here in x-axis what is the displacement? Along the x-axis displacement is 0. Is it? So if after some time this line it will touch this line, horizontal line. When it will touch? At t tends to infinity. Time is plotted along x-axis, and when time is very large, that is tends to infinity, then this displacement touches this line, that is tends to 0. That is damping is there. So this is the case of heavy damping where k is greater than omega, and here the condition is t tends to infinity. When it is, then x tends to 0. So remember this, for heavy damping case, what is the condition? K is greater than omega. Very important this for you. Now next case I am discussing. So it is written in language that displacement x of the body gradually decreases exponentially with time, and it comes to the equilibrium position at t equal to infinity. Equilibrium position means there x equal to 0. So no displacement is there. So x equal to 0. So without performing any oscillation. For here you will not get any oscillation, and no oscillation will be there for heavy damping case. If you displace it, if you displace the particle, it will come to its initial position or equilibrium position at time t tends to infinity, and the displacement will be 0 without any oscillation. Remember this thing, without performing any oscillation. In simple pendulum, actually the graph, what I was showing, it is as many oscillations are there, but this is not heavy damping case. This is for oscillatory motion. Now heavy damping case, what? If you displace the body, it will not execute oscillation. It will, after some time, that after t tends to infinity, it will gradually come to its initial position and it will not oscillate. Understand this? Now example, the motion of the pendulum in viscous fluid. So motion of the pendulum in viscous fluid, discharge of a capacitor through resistor are the example of this type of motion. That means if pendulum is in a viscous fluid, now if you displace the bob and then leave it, then it will not execute oscillation. Gradually it will come to its initial position and it will, that means from equilibrium position, from mean position, you are displacing the bob. Now bob is coming to its equilibrium position and it is not going to the opposite side. For oscillation, it will move to and fro, but it is not. If you displace the bob, then it is coming to its initial position at time t tends to infinity, and then displacement is 0. It is not oscillating. This is not oscillatory motion. So this is heavy damping case. Damping is there, heavy damping is there. So for that reason, there is no oscillation. So keep in mind these two examples. Now critical damping case. Second one is critical damping case. In critical damping, the particle tends to move to equilibrium much more rapidly than the overdamped motion. This is also non-oscillatory motion. So in critical damping, it is also non-oscillatory motion. But here, the bob of the pendulum, what it will do, it will come faster to the equilibrium position with respect to the overdamped motion. Now, when k tends to omega, when k tends to omega, here the graph is shown, critical damping motion and heavy damped motion, displacement is along the x-axis and time is along the, displacement is along the y-axis and the time is along the x-axis, and you can say this is the overdamped motion, this is the overdamped motion. It is time, much more time to come to the displacement 0 to the for the coming of the particle to the equilibrium position here in this time. So here if you put y-x-axis, what is the time? Say it is t1 time. And here for critical damping case, this is the critical damping case and it is touching the x-axis, say here, say t2 time. This is t2 and this is t1. So here for overdamped case t1, and for critical damped case it is t2. So it is t2 is less than t1. So in critical damping case, the bob of the pendulum or whatever you are seeing, the body is coming to its equilibrium position much more rapidly than the overdamped motion. Understand? Any question you want to ask? Any question, anyone? Just clear your idea.
Miss, would you please explain the graph once again?
Graph, okay. So this is displacement along the y-axis and time along the x-axis. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as it is damped motion, critical damping or heavy damping, that is damped motion. So displacement, see, what is overdamped motion? This is the graph. So displacement was here, then this is the displacement, this is the displacement, this is the displacement, this is the displacement. In this way, displacement is what? Decreasing or increasing?
Decreasing.
Decreasing. Decreasing. And here, up to here, so I have not touched it, this graph here, because at time t equal to infinity, this graph touches, na? So I have given the arrow sign. So after t equal to infinity, say here in this point, see the cursor, say in this point it is t equal to infinity, it is very large time. So then this graph will touch the x-axis, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
It is touching the x-axis means what? Displacement is 0.
0.
Okay, that means say the pendulum is it is given in a viscous fluid. Then you are in a viscous fluid, the one pendulum, the motion of the pendulum, you have displaced the bob of the pendulum, and then you have released it. Then bob will come to its equilibrium position. Just come to the equilibrium position and it will stop after time t equal to infinity. After a large time, when t is very large, after certain time, the bob of the pendulum will come to the rest. That means equilibrium position. ऑसिलेशन करने के लिए क्या कंडीशन है, उसे तो दूसरा तरफ जाना पड़ेगा ना. ऑसिलेशन मतलब क्या? ऑसिलेशन सोचो, व्हाट इज ऑसिलेशन? तो बॉब ऑफ द पेंडुलम तुम डिस्प्लेस करोगे और आके एक साइड से आके स्टॉप हो जाएगा, तो ऑसिलेशन होगा. इज देयर एनी ऑसिलेशन देयर? नो.
No.
So you are displacing the body and the body is coming to the its rest position, that is initial position, equilibrium position after time t equal to infinity. बहुत ज्यादा टाइम के बाद वो आके equilibrium position में आएगा और zero हो जाएगा displacement. See, this is the graph. Understand? Now, say this is the graph, this point, see the cursor. See the cursor here. This is say t1. T1 time. After T1 time, this is the overdamped motion. This is becoming zero displacement. And for critical damp, what is happening? Critical damp, this is displacement is again going to zero. Say this is T2. See the cursor. This is the T2 time. This is touching the x-axis. So this is T2 and here it is T1. So is T1 is greater than T2? Is it? It is T1. For heavy damped motion, it is touching here. Okay. And for critical damping, it is touching here x-axis in this point. So what is the value of T here? Say this is T2. And the value of T here, it is T1.
T1.
So T1 is greater than T2. So T1 is greater than T2. That means T2 is less than T1. So
Yes, ma'am.
in critical damped motion, the displacement is becoming zero much more rapidly than the overdamped motion. Understand?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
See, I say.
ma'am, the example of overdamped motion on the motion of pendulum in viscous fluid, ma'am. Ma'am, is displacement also dependent on the viscous fluid?
Yes, this depends that what is the viscosity. That will come. That means that may be critical, that may be overdamped. What is the condition? That I am saying. That critical damping is also one type of or damping. This is damping. But critical, why this term is said critical? Critical means this is the critical situation below which the motion is oscillatory and above which there is no oscillation. Understand? So this is that means here I am coming to the next oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion means in both the cases, critical damping and over damping, there is no oscillation. But it is said critical. Why? Because after this state, it becomes oscillatory. कब oscillation होगा और कब over damp होगा? The critical damping is in between over damp and oscillatory motion. This is the critical state. So here, third state, this is K is tends to omega. See, this is the case. That is the case of oscillatory motion. This is oscillatory motion, K tends to omega. Now, if K tends to omega, then what I have taken? This equation, come to this equation or this equation, K tends to omega. Then what remains? See, what remains? X equal to e to the power minus kt into a into e to the power beta t plus b into e to the power beta t. What is taken? Beta equal to root over k square minus omega square. This is very small quantity. So root over k square minus omega square, this term root over k square minus omega square is taken as beta. So this equation remains as this e to the power minus kt into a e to the power beta t plus b into e to the power beta t. Now I'm writing, so again breaking this term e to the power beta t. So a is here e to the power beta t. I'm just breaking 1 plus beta t plus b into 1 minus beta t. So I'm breaking it in this way. Now after that, just combining in this way, you can write the simple mathematical calculation, nothing physics here, only mathematics is here. So x equal to e to the power kt as it is. This is not changing. So inside I have some calculation and I have written this term as a plus b plus a minus b into beta t. So this we can write, I have written p equal to a plus b. So p equal to a plus b and q equal to a minus b into beta. So a minus b into beta I have written as q and a plus b I have written as p. So x, it is represented as e to the power minus kt into p plus q into t. So k tends to actually see here. For heavy damping case, the condition is k is greater than omega. And there, after infinite time, the displacement is going to 0. This is shown here, over-damped motion. Then this is non-oscillatory motion. Then critical damping case. This is the critical damping case. Critical damping is also non-oscillatory motion, but it is the state between oscillatory and non-oscillatory motion, above which it is over-damped and below which it is oscillatory. And what is the condition here for critical damping? This is k tends to omega. In over-damping, the condition was k greater than omega. For critical damping, the condition is k tends to omega. And what is the equation here? I am getting for critical damping case, x equal to e to the power minus kt into p plus qt. So you can see here again, you can see at t equal to infinity, when t equal to infinity, x is again tends to 0. So for critical damping also, at t equal to infinity, x becoming to 0. But it is coming much more rapidly to 0 equilibrium position with respect to the over-damped motion. Motion, this is non-oscillatory motion. In both cases, after infinite time, when t tends to infinity, the body will come to its rest position. Here, for critical damping cases, it is coming much more rapidly, and over damping cases, it is taking much time than the critical damping cases. But both are non-oscillatory motion. Always remember, both are non-oscillatory motion. That means amplitude is decreasing, then it is not again increasing. It is just 0. It was maximum displacement and it is decreasing and going to 0 and then finishes. There is no, after that, no oscillation. So if oscillation, then amplitude after decreasing, it will again increase, but it is not oscillating though, over-damped and critical damped. So it is coming to 0. So this is non-oscillatory motion, both the cases. So here, remember, you have to remember this equation. You have to remember this condition, k is tends to omega. For critical damping case, k is tends to omega. And for heavy damping case, whatever I have discussed, k is greater than omega. And in next class, I will discuss that light damping or under damped motion, and this is oscillatory motion. And you can see this equation, x equal to c into to the power minus kt sine omega dash t plus 5. So if it is amplitude, c into to the power minus kt, I'm taking it amplitude, so I can write it as a sine omega dash t plus 5. What is this equation? SHM, x equal to a sine omega t plus 5, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So but this amplitude it is decreasing. It has amplitude that x equal to a sine omega dash t plus phi. But here the amplitude is decreasing with time. This is oscillatory. Sine part means oscillatory motion. But this is light damping. Damping is light, so we can get oscillation. But for high damping case and critical damping case, we are getting no oscillation because there was no sine and cos part. You have seen here, there is no sine and cos part here, and here also. So it is the condition that t equal to infinity, it is directly going to 0. But here, in this case, I have this type of equation. So this is oscillatory motion. So in next class, I will discuss this thing. And with some examples also I have. Quality factor I will discuss. So something remaining here. So today after this, I'm not discussing much more thing because the time is over actually. So I will give you the note. So you will go through it, and next class I will discuss the remaining part and example of damped harmonic motion that I will also discuss with electrical circuit. Okay, students?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So after my class, give your attendance. And don't give attendance before 10. After class, you will give the attendance and immediately after my class. Otherwise, I will not take your attendance. I will check the time, and who are giving late, I will not consider. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So leaving my class.
Thank you, ma'am.